Hey, it's Amy, and I'm here to share with you my finds for the Trinket Tuesday and what I've done with them. This was started by Johanna over at the Preppy Crafty Girl. And if you haven't checked her out, please do because she is amazing and she has been sharing, oh, it's probably been over a month now, all of her trinket finds and what you can do with your trinkets, meaning if you want to make them into charms. She has tutorials and she's got some great finds. So I'll link her in the description box and please go check her out. And thanks, Johanna, for starting this because it's definitely inspired me. So I was at the Goodwill store and my Goodwill had this bag of kids' toys and it was $1.99. And when I looked into it, I found several items that I thought for $1.99, pick it up. And I will tell you, one of them was a Marvin Martian who my husband has already claimed, so it's gone. And then I also was drawn because I saw this little Fisher Price Mainstays girl. And these I remember from when I was a kid playing with these, and they went in like the little yellow school bus. Does anybody remember that? So I think this one's plastic, so it's probably from the 80s. But yeah, super cute. And I probably won't make her into a charm just because the nostalgia of her. I'll keep her as is. And then they had this Bart Simpson, like little, it's like a squishy toy, whatever. But this one is from 1990. So yeah, this G.I. Joe figure. Some of these I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I may just like redonate because they're just not my. I don't know that I'll use them. So definitely want to give them to somebody that would appreciate them and like them. There's two white spiders in there, figurines. So there's those. And this little cute Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. Look, her little legs move and her arms move. She's so cute. So cute. Also this Playmobil knight figurine, and these I remember from my childhood too. And he has a little sword and it comes out, but it holds in his hand. I thought it was awesome that the sword was attached. I don't know. Nope, this is attached. His belt is loose, but that does come apart. But anyhow, yeah, these are pretty cool. I think my brother had some of these. And then this tiny little cute Superman, which look at his big head compared to his body. But anyhow, I thought that was cute. And I don't know what year this is. It just says, DC made in China. And I don't know what it went with. There's no idea. Also these little plastic flowers, which I think go with a Barbie doll maybe, because see the little hole here for their hand to put in their hand to hold. And then tons of these little army figures. Tons. There's like some bigger ones and smaller ones. So, yep. And then it had this astronaut. And then it had this poker chip, red poker chip. That was interesting that was in there, but you never know what you'll find. And then I absolutely love these animals that are in there. I've never seen them in this color. I don't know if these are newer or what. I don't really know. But this little ostrich, love that bright color. Little pink kangaroo. He's missing an ear, but he's still adorable. And then this panther. So yeah, I just think these are so cute. And then it had other animals in there, and these are a little bit smaller than those. So it had this polar bear and this little leopard. And it had other animals. And so when I'm going to push this to the side. So with these animals, I decided what I was going to do was bedazzle them because several years ago I had seen that Anthropology had made basically bedazzled animals, plastic figurines, if you will, into necklaces. And um, I won't wear it as a necklace, but I thought these would be cool as charms, maybe for, a journal or so forth. And this sent me down a really fun rabbit hole doing these. So this was my first one. It was this goat. And I used some sari fabric that I draped on them like a blanket. And then I added this gold chain to define it or like wrap around the edges I wrapped some wire around his neck, and then I gave him this really cool like crown. And it's a rhinestone spacer bead, a crystal bead, and then a little purple bead, and of course the eyelet to hold him. But that this was the very first one I did, and it was really fun to make. And then the next one I did was this little elephant, which this guy's probably my favorite. Um, the elephant, again, I added this like sorry silk like for a blanket, and then I draped this chain, this gold chain around it. And then he, of course, has his crown, which is a rhinestone spacer, and then this like blue and like orangey brown bead, which matches the fabric. And then he has this little trim. It's like a white chain trim going down his tail, which is really cute. And then around his ankles or his legs, I wrapped gold wire around all of them. So hopefully you can see that. Yeah, he's my favorite. I just think he's so cute. And then the last one I did was this tiger, and I did a tinsel um, necklace, like if you will, around his neck. And then this is his. Let me got a little crooked there. That's his crown, his hat, if you will. And then I wrapped some silver chain around his body, and then he got a pearl um, trim going down his tail, like beaded trim going down his tail. And then I wrapped this yellow wire around his legs. So yeah. So these are really, really fun to make. I started with these, and then I'm going to move on to the pink and the green because um, I wanted to see how it goes. I will say these, pack your patience if you're going to make them, just because the little details like the wire wrapping and so forth, but they're really fun to make. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching, and thank you again, Johanna, for the inspiration to uh, start this Trinket Tuesday and inspire everybody to share with us their trinkets and what they're doing with them. And I hope everybody will check it out. Thanks. Bye.